Let me stand up and suplex myself. Boy, my head. What? Let me do it again. What's going on? Wow, wait, I win. I have the force. Hi out there, I am IVATOPIA and this is me taking a look at Pro Wrestling X once more and updating you on what has been added for the current build, what is currently 0.94 and is still an early access game. So as you know, means it is not finished and will have bugs and features missing. Okay, let's begin with the first change. What is the title screen? As you can see, it has been changed again as the 0.94 build is shown in the top right corner. Plus the moving ring has gone and been replaced by the 3 wrestlers. That's right, I said 3, not 2, but 3, who are in the game, but more on that later. Let's get the option screen out of the way. Not much has changed here from last time, but we do get a new piece of music, what is nice. What again is changed when we take a look at the credit screen. So you can see from this little bit the game is expanding. Now to the creator screen, where here we have the ring and wrestler once more, just like last time. And when entering the ring mode, again, nothing's really changed here. As you can see, one of the rings I've customized myself. There's one of the possible 8 different ring types we can pick. And I mean ring types as in customized. It's not, you know, like ring 1 is WCW and ring 2 is, you know, completely different arena. The exact same arenas, but you can customize the ring with the options. As you can see on the screen now, I'm scrolling through some different options you can change. And the save at the bottom. So at home you're probably thinking, so what's been changed then? Well, the Create a Wrestle section has had a big overhaul. As you can see, as I enter it now, you can see the layer options is a lot nicer, and we now have sliders. So you want a bigger wrestler, we can now have it. Plus we've got more options, as in a lot more art assets. Art assets, I emphasize art. Not that many, but a lot more than we had. I would like to add that most are programmer art, as in it was being added by the programmer to test and will be replaced or cleaned up by the game's artist/animator when he gets time. But it is a step in the right direction, as the groundwork has now been laid out for this game. It just needs filling in with a lot more art. But remember, this is still an early access game. This game is not even a full feature complete game yet. I have to stress this. I will now speed this section up and create a new guy over the top of the current wrestler for you, who I named Test before I was just testing when this build came out, since we can still only save 1 wrestler. What the devs have said after next patch, this will change to a lot more slots. Hopefully, again, they don't give us a number. I'm hoping for a minimum of the amount that's in the current game. What, I'll get onto that in a minute. And again, I cannot wait for this part to be done. For my own personal preference, some of the main assets we need is quite a few more hairstyles, because I think there's only about 3 hairstyles in the game, other than being bald, but it's not hairstyle, or like I guess it is a style, but it's not hairstyle, being bald, and 2 with long hair, with hardly any hair. The one, as you can see on the screen, I'm using, what has a bit more top hair with long hair. I want a few short hairs, you know, like crew cuts, a few spiked hairs. We got quite a lot of, as you've probably already seen from the video, the sped up part, a lot of beards now, what's awesome. So we'll be getting there, but we need a lot more assets, but my priority would be hair first before anything else at this point, because everything else, at least we have 3 or 4 different things, like the knee pads and stuff, but we can change the colours, so that's great. And also allow us to change the colours of the hair, so I don't believe I can so far. Anyway, hope you like to look at my guy. Oh, you notice we've also got a thing on my crotch. Yeah, they let you put stuff on the crotch. Anyway. As you can see now, I have created Ivan Reaver, as I want to call him, here, and I've saved him. Now let's head to the game itself and see what there is. So first we go to the exhibit mode, and as you can see here, we now have single match like before, triple threat and PWX 4-way. So we have 3 new match type, well 2 new match types really, because we had 1 before, but even the single match has a new feature to it. See, here's the order custom rings that are built into the game. The top one is the one I customized myself, the Wrestling Ring 01. As you see, these are the default ones they've got, and you go over them. And now you get to pick your characters, as you see. I picked Ivan Reaver, and you can even pick him again if you want. Me personally, I never really like that in wrestling games where you can pick the same person, unless it's somebody like Mankind and Cactus Jack. And even then, I don't want them in the ring together. Anyway, I'm picking a new wrestler here, Grimlock. As if I recall, Dave wrote in the newsletter once, the main dev, when he actually meant Grimhold. Now as you can hear, the crowd on Berserk was awesome. Again, there is music, but I've turned the music off. There's a little spin round for each wrestler to start the match. Was pretty cool. And as you can see, what I like to touch on, the outside of the ring, them signs are actually customized by me using the new mod system the game has got. It's quite simple really. You just go into the streaming assets folder and replace certain pictures with a different picture under the same name. As you can see in the background, I've got my IVATOPIA symbol and all the different signs I'm trying to zoom in on for you now to see for the crowd. And by the way, I'm zooming in using the screenshot feature, what obviously I talked about in one of my past current builds. As you can see, I did a mistake. I never wrote anything on the back of the signs. That's why they say back. It would have been a lot cooler if I did, but people don't normally look at the front. But it's quite cool. The screenshot feature, you look like you're in the crowd. And see, and I'm zooming in a lot more on my actual symbol. Because you replace it, it should be a Pro Wrestling X character guy there. And as you can see, IVATOPIA's Wrestling Domination. There's actually, that back there, there's actually a little Easter egg. If you whip your opponent into it, he bounces back like it's ropes. It's cool. Using that same feature, you can notice the crowd. We never had a crowd before, so that's pretty awesome. A bit sparse, but again, it's still the access. It's good for a first attempt. Also, the ring itself, we've got the nice mat around the side and everything, and the entranceway. Let's move on to the new moves, shall we? As you can see on the screen now, I just did an Irish whip. As you can see, still a little buggy. Didn't go in the corner like I wanted him, so I attempt it again. Voila! And this leads into a new grappling move we can do. A Snake Eyes. Pretty awesome animation, that is. Also using the same Irish whip move, they've used an old move, the drop kick, actually affects the character. And he falls down. Before, that did nothing when in the corner. So that's pretty awesome too. As you see, I'm whipping the guy again. And this time, I punch him, so he reacts to the punches too. So that's awesome too. And I'll end up with another Snake Eyes for you. We also have Irish whips to the ropes, and the guy bounces back. Again, very basic stuff, but early access. It shows the game is growing. Another move that has been added is the Release Dragon Suplex from the back position. Yes, you heard me right. We have now got a back position for moves. One more in fact. So far as you can see here, a back takedown. Very basic, but still well animated. Plus setting up for these moves is easier than before, since we can now transition from the front to back, and from the back to the front, as I am showing on screen at this very moment. Speaking of back moves and animation, take a look at a still from me performing the Release Dragon Suplex. Doesn't that look painful? And I'm loving it. So much care has gone into the very few but very awesome animations this game has so far. Well done to the animators, all I have to say. Well done indeed. And if you're watching this video, don't take my praise as, you know, I'll do it easy and sloppy from now on. Keep up the good work. Make the game, every animation like this. Awesome. Next we have top rope moves, as in a moonsault. What hits the opponent if they're standing up, or even if they're lying down. This same animation has been used as well by the programmer to make a lion salt, from what is a great way of stretching the few moves he has to work with in this game, as well as smart and efficient too. And obviously I'm really liking the lion salt. My favourite wrestlers of all time is Chris Jericho, Shawn Michaels and Bret Hart. We already got the sharpshooter, as I told you in the past current build, by Bret Hart. Now we have Chris Jericho's lion salt. Granted, we can't go to pin position yet. We hit it, we have to then hit pin ourselves. It'd be nice to go to automatic pin and a different type of pin. But again, small team, we'll get there eventually. Another new feature the game has got is a very basic one for wrestling games. Finally, without it bugging out, and that's what I mean by bugging out, if anyone saw in the screenshots I did on the Steam forums, you know what I'm talking about. Basically, you can leave the ring now, and it's not a bug where you float through it. You can also get back in the ring. You can also use the same animation to climb on the ramp and off the ramp again, as you can see as I'm demonstrating on the screen at the moment. This is very basic, but obviously it opens up a whole new world. A heel's getting beaten down. He can now climb out the ring and slow the match down. Taunt on the outside, and he can walk around the ring. He can try to run. It opens more dimensions, more opportunities to make more interesting matches. You know, it's very simple, and it's taken for granted in most games. having it not there for most of this game and finally having it there, it feels so good to be back. It really does. Another major thing this game has added, and it's actually thanks to leaving the ring. We actually have in single matches the option, well, it's turned automatically, so it's not an option yet, but as we're wrestling, another wrestler can actually interfere and run down the ring, get in the ring, and beat the living hell out of you, or your opponent. What I think is awesome. It happens very often at the moment now. Like, your guy comes down, he beats you to a pulp, he leaves, and then someone else comes down and beats the other guy to a pulp, and he leaves, and someone else comes down. It happens way too much. That's the only thing. They need an option to turn it off and on, as well as a more random time to it. I wouldn't mind someone interfering and staying there for like 3-4 minutes and then leaving, and then next time in a different match someone else interferes and stays there for maybe 30 seconds and leaves. Or another match we have like 3 run-ins where another match only get 1. And I'm talking about, say, standard 20-minute matches here. We do 20-minute matches each turn. You know, so it varies. That would be awesome. So you never know if things will A, interfere, and B, how long they're going to stay. So that'd be pretty cool. Speaking of people interfering, that's one pet hate I do have with the system at the moment. It seems when, in my matches, when I wrestled as Ivan Reaver, the guy who came out to beat me up or help me was also Ivan Reaver. And what did I say before, when you can pick the same people in the same ring with each other? I've never liked that in wrestling games. Like I said, Mankind can be in the ring in a Rumble's number 2, he gets thrown out, and then number 10, Cactus Jack comes out. That is fine. I just don't want to see Mankind in the ring is number 1, Cactus Jack number 2, Dude Love number 3, and Mick Foley number 4. That always annoys me in wrestling games. So I would love it being changed. It could be an option if players want your same character to help himself. That's fine if players want that. But to me personally, I want it as an option or else changed to basically, if I'm in the ring, the only person who will come out, anyone can come out and help me except for me. Just like if I'm in there with Grasshopper, anyone can come out and help Grasshopper, or even attack Grasshopper except for Grasshopper, because he's already in the ring. La. Okay, now let's move on to the basically triple threat mode, and basically the 4-way dance as well. Basically, there's the same modes as we have, with exception no interference, but we have the other wrestlers in the game. Currently, when you pick a wrestler, he takes a slot around the screen, you know, from the bottom left to the bottom right, to the top right, to the top left. And that seems to be their designated spot, because when interference happens in single player, the person seems to take one of them spots up. So it seems they can only have 4 wrestlers currently. What, the match is good, but I find it's very hard to grapple people with the extra person in there. Because when you try to grapple them, it has to be very precise, or it keeps missing a lot. Even though it is a nice option, you can actually break moves up, what's cool. You can do a moonsault and hit all 3 of them, what is amazing, as I'm putting on the screen now. Stuff like that are nice touches, but it's also a lot easier to get pushed and slid out of the ring and through the ropes, and that bug that I actually used for my screenshots I mentioned earlier on the Steam forum to get my guy at the ring. It's quite easy to set that up still. Is there anything else I need to mention now? Or should I just go to the gameplay for you without me talking? Oh, I know something I can mention. Thinking about it now. The create a wrestler. I hate the fact I can only create one guy. Because it basically means I can only do... If I'd say I did a tournament, you know, make a tournament, I'm doing a bunch of single matches. I do like Ivan Reaver versus Grimhold. Versus... the other 2, Grasshopper and etc. But then I don't want 4 wrestlers, I want more wrestlers. So theoretically I could delete over top of Ivan Reaver. Just, you know, a screenshot, remember how to build him. And then I create something called Striker. Now Ivan Reaver takes on Grimhold. He wins my match and advances my tournament. Striker takes on Grasshopper, wins. The next round is Ivan Reaver, Striker. The thing is, because I've got one created slot, they can't face each other. Yeah. But I have read on the forums, the developers have listened, and next patch, so I can't wait for, they're going to have, I think, up to 10 wrestling slots. But the way he read it is that only 9 will be usable, because the way he's got the creators set up for the game. But that's brilliant. I wanted a minimum as many in the matches, meaning if there's 4-way matches, I want a minimum of 4 superstars I can create, and then I can always delete one to get them to create superstars versus each other. With 9 slots, Since the 10th slot, they said they won't be able to use, but with 9 slots, that is amazing. And I can't wait for that patch. This has actually gone on been one of my longest Pro Wrestling X videos I've done. No, my first one for about 7 minutes, my second one's about the same. I think I was leaving it into, I felt there was enough information, enough new stuff to do another current build on. The trouble was, I left it too long, and then they just blasted me with that massive update recently. I was like, oh, seriously? So anyway, before we get to that footage of just 5 minutes of them wrestling, without me being part of it, without me talking, I'm going to mention, do I think it's still worth buying? Well, like the last time, I think if you want to support a good wrestling game, a future good wrestling game, then I think it's worth buying and put your money in. Obviously, at the same time, if you want a wrestling game that is 100% complete right now, then no, you need to wait. If you want a wrestling game, how do I put this? That way you can have a beautiful match with, basically it's one of the things I played about in the first one. Yeah, you can have a beautiful match where you can do luchador stuff, you can do, you know, strong type stuff, hardcore stuff, cheat, basically go into so many different terms with wrestling matches like you watch in real life. You can't really do that yet. If anything, this current build so much more features, and it's getting a lot better, but it's also a lot buggier because of the triple threat and the 4 ways added so many more bugs. Some of them are funny, but if you're trying to do serious matches, it gets very annoying now. But remember, early access, this is what this is for. They're going to introduce big changes, it's going to give us more bugs, then they're going to fix them bugs, and it's going to expand and get better. So basically, to summarise it, if you want to support a future good wrestling game that I believe will be good, but it's not quite there yet, put your money down. If on the other hand you want a polished product, then you're going to have to wait. We still have WWE games out there at the end of the day, you can buy them, and even they're not polished, considering they do them every year. Because I own 2016, I own 2015, the last one on PlayStation I owned was 2007, but then I got the recent PC ones, and there's still loads of bugs in them. So, anyway, I'll leave you now with some good footage of a match I did for at least about 5 minutes. Hope you enjoy. And again, sorry about how long the episode is. And like, subscribe, and that good stuff for me, because I really appreciate it and like it. And again, in the description we'll have Pro Wrestling X and the Steam thing if you want to go and buy the game yourself and support these good devs. Again, there's only 4 of them working on it as far as I know at the moment. And I'm going to say bye to you now as you watch the last 5 minutes of my video. So bye everybody, bye bye, hope you enjoyed, bye. Just thought I'd add here quickly, like I was saying, there's quite a few bugs in the game, and you see the optimization's not brilliant anymore. It's a lot slower than it used to be. But here's one of the bugs I was talking about. Watch this. I go to pin the dude, and look, they break it up. It's awesome. But look at that. I'm on the other side of the ring, and he's now stuck with his legs in the air, in the pin position still. Well, at first it's funny because I actually go to the screenshot mode in a little bit to have a look at it, as you will see on this part of the video, because I'm going to do to the end of this match for you. So at first I was just ignoring him, and then look, I tried to kick the guy. It's like nothing happened. Punch, nothing happens. It's quite funny initially, but obviously that happens every match. Like I will be honest, that did not happen every match. It's the only time happened in about 4 or 5 matches, so that's not bad. But as you look, I will go to screenshot mode, take some screenshots of this. That's what the dink is. That's the F12 on the Steam version of screenshots, because the actual screenshot button, as far as I know, still doesn't work for me. You know, I didn't 100% test this version. The last version before this patch I tested, still didn't work. So, but I'm happy it's using the screenshot button from Steam since it's a Steam game. So look how weird that guy looks. Anyway, I thought I best get back on with the match. So now the game is basically a triple threat. Oh, and something I should mention, I forgot to in the video, you can look at the other opponents, what's obviously very important in this type of match. It's the select key, or on my controller it's the back key, but basically it's the select key that's on like Xbox controllers. I have a Logitech controller. I actually got 3, 2 Logitechs, and I forgot what the other name is off my head, the other controller, but I tend to lose that one Logitech one for this. And look at the moonsault, look, I hit him, he's back down. I'm like, yay, can I pin him? So theoretically, if this was a real match, that guy would have been conscious for ages. So go for a pin again. 2, 3, and I win. From the guy who's been conscious for the past 2 minutes, with his doing like crunches with his legs in the air. Yeah. Ivan Reaver wins. Having a big finish. The moonsault. What the? Ow! The guy moved! How did he pull that off? Don't try to show me up. Well, he seems down again. It's time for another big finish. Comes my amazing moonsault and... Ow! Face full of canvas. How did you move? I didn't see you roll. You like flipped up. It's ridiculous. One more time. Moonsault! Ow! Screw this. I win the match. Raise my hand. I just hate the days when you're wrestling someone and the second guy interferes, and not only does the second guy interferes, the second guy happens to look just like you, when I don't even have a twin. At least you can keep him down, kicking him while pinning him, and at least you can pin him on the outside. Yeah! Keep kicking him.